So now we're going to go over how to download maps for offline use in Google Maps on an iPhone. So the reasons you might want to go ahead and do this, there's actually a few of them. One of them is if you download the offline maps for your home area, you can actually save some data because it doesn't have to constantly search for specific places and stuff like that. Through the internet, it can just kind of pull it up because it is available offline. Also, if you have spotty reception in the area you live, this will help avoid any disruptions when navigating and things like that because that map will be available offline. So a home is a good place to do it. Anywhere that you're going to go that's going to have spotty reception is a good place to download those maps. And another good thing is, like, what if you're going abroad, you're going out of the country, and you want to save on that international data plan a little bit and use less data when you're abroad. But you still want to navigate using Google Maps on your phone. You can download those maps offline. And if you do that and you have the correct addresses of the places you're going, you can still type those in and get turn by turn navigation, even when your phone is still in airplane mode. Or you can just pick a place on the map and it'll take you there as well, even if you're in airplane mode, which is super nice. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to download multiple maps offline if you so choose. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and open the Google Maps app, and you want to make sure you can go to the App Store and stuff and make sure it's all updated and everything, and you have the most current version. Once it's updated, you'll click on the user icon in the top right hand corner here, up at the search bar on the top. So if you go ahead and tap on that, you'll see a bunch of different options here, and you're going to want to click on offline maps. Once you do that, you can see I already have one offline map up here. It's called Home, and it expires a year from when you download it. But you can have that automatically update and things like that if you want to. And this is how much space it takes up: 102 megabytes, which is really not that much space. So if you want to go and make your own map, you'll tap on Custom Map. So you'll select that, and I'll show you what if we're like going abroad. What if we're going to New Zealand, for a family trip or something. You can go here, and as you can see, the map kind of adjusts. So you can zoom in and out with your two fingers on certain areas, but the offline map can only be so big. Okay, so it can only hold about this much. And the important thing to know is, what if I want the whole southern part of this island? Well, I can't really fit it in one offline map, but I can do more than one offline map. So we're going to do it in sections here. So we'll do this first one here, and we'll click download. And you can also see downloads may take up to X amount of space, depending on the size and everything like that. We'll go ahead and download this though. And while that's going, you can see it's downloading that area, how much percent is left. And if you hit this edit button, this little pencil in the top right hand corner, you can actually name it to whatever you want. So we'll name it to New Zealand. And then we'll go ahead and click on save. And you'll see it's already downloaded here. It's taken us there. And if we go ahead and select it and tap on it, it brings us here, and we can update it if we want to. So maybe right before our trip, we'll update it again just in case. Basically updating it if there's new addresses or new locations and stuff that are physically out there in the real world in this part of your offline map. You can go ahead and update it, and it'll download all of that new information. You can also edit it again if you want to change the name, if you want to. So now you can do another custom map. And again, we're just going to go back and do the next part. And you just want to make sure you're kind of doing everything right. So we'll download that, and I'll just leave it as map 2. I don't really need to label it, but you can name it whatever you want. And then we'll do one more. is. We'll click download. And again, it's going to download that part. So it's going to download those maps and everything in the background if you want to. So while it's doing that, we're going to go over some of the other settings. So when you're in this main offline map page, if you hit the settings gear in the top right, you can go ahead and see update offline maps. They can update automatically or manually. I showed you how to do it manually earlier, but it'll periodically, when you're connected to Wi-Fi, download new maps if it sees that anything has changed. Also down here it says when to download offline maps or update them, really, over Wi-Fi only or Wi-Fi and mobile network. It's up to you which one you want to do. I suggest over Wi-Fi only because it downloads them pretty quick, and that way you don't use any of your data. Other important things to know, again, you still can use turn-by-turn navigation when your phone is in airplane mode, as long as you have the correct maps and the correct areas downloaded. So those are some reasons why you might want to download some offline maps, especially if you're navigating in areas with a spotty connection or you're abroad and don't really have self-service. You want to download these maps before you go and travel, or your home area is actually really nice to use and download, because if you're navigating a lot around your home area, you'll use less data and you won't get any drops in the turn-by-turn guidance or things like that, because you lose a connection because the maps will be available offline. But yeah, that's how you download and update offline maps on an iPhone. Hopefully that helps.